The Weed Porn Daily podcast is brought to you by the Weed Porn Daily Head Shop. Head over to WeedPornDaily.com right now and pick up some weed socks, some hemp wicks, and, of course, some rolling papers. We just restocked on some chocolate chip. Or not restocked, these are brand fucking new. These are
limited
edition, yeah. Chocolate chip cookie dough Juicy J rolling papers. Check it out. Pick some up while you can. And, of course, check out the new selection of 5 new Cyclone papers. These are clear papers this time. They're not tobacco-based. So you will be able to see your buds. You'll be able to show off those fancy little perps you got. You'll be able to do that swirl of wax inside of it and make it look like some Starbucks fucking Frappuccino and shit. And make sure to check out the new stoned goofy slaps. Yeah, plenty of stuff. We're trying to diversify the shop. There's also a new print in the shop. We're going to be talking about it later. Pre-order it now. The Sarah Silverman vector illustration. I think it's a 24 by 36 poster, and it comes with, since it's a pre-order, it's like a pre-order pack. Comes with weed socks, comes with hemp wick, comes with a set of stickers, comes with an extra print. It is just a nice, fat, stash.
It's like perfect for a present, possibly. A Stoney birthday that could be coming up.
Possibly. Maybe celebrating 420 a little early or planning for 420.
Exactly.
Maybe you need some
V-Day coming up, possibly.
Need some posters for your wall to fill it up. You got an empty spot. We have a very big way to fill it. Check that out at the shop, WeedPornDaily.com/shop. And of course, you can use the coupon code PODCAST and save 10% on that order. That's a lot, especially with the print. The print's over $100. 10% off of $100 is boom, $10 off. Like you're already saving a huge chunk there. So that's it, man. That's it for the horn of our own products. We're coming along there. We're getting new slaps. We're getting new fucking shit there. Expanding the shop. It's nice. Appreciate it, guys. All the support. As always, you can head over to WeedPornDaily.com/advertise if you'd like to advertise on the podcast. Hear the sultry sounds of your ads, detailed by yours truly, in whatever form you'd like. Well, not form, but, give me some ammunition. But head over to WeedPornDaily.com. We're going to be having some incredibly different alterations to the ad structure. We're going to talk about that later in the podcast. So make sure to check out the page, I guess, a couple weeks later. Just make sure to check it again. But let's get this party started. It's been a little while. We got some stuff to talk about. Of course, get your bowls packed, get those hash nails heated. I hope you have your e-nails calibrated to the proper setting, whether you want those low temp dabs and you got your carbs cap set, or you're looking for those high temp dabs and you're getting something like smoky and burning that shit and just doing it for fun, whatever, just heating it up so that you can get those slabs properly burned, or those snakes, or whatever you're trying to get down dab-wise. Or maybe you've properly medicated yourself with edibles. You had them baked a couple hours ago. They've cooled off, and now they've been ingested, maybe even with a carbohydrate, something starchy, in order to extend the ingestion time and allow your body to properly absorb all the cannabinoids. Or maybe, you're sitting there right now, you're listening to the podcast, and you're massaging your knee, that bad knee that you fell on that one time, and it's never going to be the same, and you're massaging the other arm that got fucked up in the war, and you're massaging the shoulder that your wife hit you on or something. I don't know, that one time in school when some guy threw a taco at you really hard and you told him, "Rico, stop it, those really hurt." And he hit bone. You're pretty sure of it.
Hit bone.
So
I let you go on these tangents, and I shouldn't.
So you're probably medicating all of that with a topical application of cannabis. These cannabinoids, they work, of course, on the surface, the epidermis, if you will. So please, medicate whatever way you'd like. I'm going to properly pack a bowl here of some very citrusy, very frosty, very fruity, very clean burning, beautiful bud that we've taken to Disney before.
I was going to say, can we say what we call it?
We call it the Disney bud. This is like Disney OG 3. There's a couple of Disney OGs.
I think this is like the most prominent, though.
This is definitely, yeah. We've taken this a lot. This is the one that I fear it's so funky and so like fragrant that people are gonna like say that it's weed.
But don't you love it though? It's so good though.
Oh yeah, it's like such a nice fragrance that I could easily argue like, no man, this is like citrus oil.
Yeah.
This is like clearly like citrus tobacco or some shit, and you could play it off.
Yeah, like we're in beautiful Florida. Why wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come on. This is local stuff.
This is Orlando, right?
Organic.
I think Orlando's like they have like an orange theme or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy
I'm pretty
Florida
sure I saw it in
juice.
Soarin'.
They had the smell in Soarin'.
Don't you recognize this? Come on. This is the Soarin' weed.
Soarin' weed. This is what we fly over in Soarin'.
Yeah, come on.
You don't see it in the mountains, but it's there.
Yeah. Gets you pretty high.
It's a good Cali weed.
Well, it's imported from Cali, but it's actually a present from Paris for the 35th anniversary. Some shit like that. I don't know. You know these growers and their like history. So we're smoking on some of that. I'm about to light up some of the hemp wick here. You can pick up some of the hemp wick in the shop. It definitely smoothens the hit for me. Makes the hit easier. It's like a long distance lighter that stays lit.
You never burn your thumb on it. Especially when you have that wind. Or like just like a room fan even.
Wait,
the
cheers.
enemy.
Woo! Tasty. Welcome to the WeedPornDaily podcast. I'm Grouch, the editor, owner, the dude who abides. I'm here with the lovely Mrs. WeedPornDaily, the producer, the co-owner, I don't know,
I'm not a co-owner.
like CEO,
You own it.
like, I don't even know. But you can hit her up at MRSWPD on Twitter as well as Instagram.
At MRSWPD.
And she has a tag on our Tumblr as well, our website. So let's jump right into the news, because we have a lot of personal stuff to get into later. Let me take a swig of this water too. That hit was mighty altering to the status of my mouth. Shit.
It's really nice.
Super, yeah. But it dries you out. Yeah. So if you want to follow along with the news, of course, it isn't enough to listen to me, or maybe you're not trapped in your car, like driving, in a status where you're preoccupied and you can't look at a computer monitor. Maybe you're listening to this and you're chilling in front of the computer. Maybe you have your phone in front of you and you can pull up the Chrome in a different tab. Head over to blog.weedporndaily.com/tag/news. Or actually, what am I even saying? Boom, that's old news now. Let's talk about new news. Head over to news.weedporndaily.com and that'll take you to the same place. Shorter URL. Or you can do, I think, weeducation.weedporndaily.com. I may be pushing it there, but check that out. Or you can go to weedporndaily.com and hit the news button up top. Or you can check the activism tag, the legalize it tag, or any of your states or countries' tags.
Meaning there's no excuse.
Yep. Or if you check the podcast post, you can see a list of the particular articles that we discuss. So let's get right into it. From the Rolling Stone by Daniel Krebs. Colorado may pay residents over excess marijuana revenue. This is fucking crazy. This is some Colorado shit that only happens in Colorado. Because I heard about this before in the sense that Colorado also has a regulation where they say you can only set the tax rate so high or something, or like it happened with pot shops where they collected like a certain amount of taxes from the pot shops, and then because they estimated a certain amount, they couldn't take over that estimate, and the pot shops got like the excess money back.
Oh, sick.
It's like some weird like Colorado loophole. So now the residents are benefiting from this as well. As the residents of Colorado are about to find out, legal pot pays. The decriminalization of marijuana in the Centennial State has been so successful that every Colorado adult is in line to receive $7.63 refund. Associated Press reports via High Times. Residents may be eligible to the refund due to economic stimulus provided by legal marijuana, a 30% tax on weed, and a 1992 amendment that puts a cap on how much the state could receive from taxpayer money.
How intense. That's pretty sick.
Remarkably, both Colorado's Democrat and Republicans have joined in unison to try and repeal, or at least limit, a 1992 voter-approved amendment called the Taxpayers' Bill of Rights that refunds citizens when the state collects more than what's permitted by a formula based on inflation and population growth. In the case of marijuana revenues, the total amount is $30 million.
And they
reached it.
Yeah.
That is pretty intense. That's pretty cool. Colorado. File that under only in Colorado. So moving over to the Sunshine State, speaking of that smell of citrus in the air, I can smell citrus and possibly some CBD buds and maybe some medical marijuana on the horizon.
Who
Definitely
knows?
some illegal buds. From the Huffington Post by Matt Ferner. That sounds so familiar.
Doesn't it?
Florida Republican aims to legalize medical marijuana. This is after we had a very unsuccessful Amendment 2 here, I think, last year or the year before. I think it was in 2014. The citizens of Florida got together and they actually signed an initiative, or petition rather, to get an initiative on the Florida ballot for them to vote on. So they got enough signatures and they got it on the Florida ballot, and they were like 2% off, or 3% I believe, from getting it legalized medicinally. And there was a lot of controversy with it, a lot of big...
Well, it was like the law is that it needs to be over 10% difference in order for it to be like classified as a win. And because it was only like 2 or 3%, it doesn't mean anything. It's too small of a difference.
Well, it was like 2 to 3% out of the 10%. So they were like 7% in already. They were close. And the problem was there was a lot of bad propaganda going out there, and really big parties, big pockets started coming into play. There was a casino owner who started just dumping millions into it, and the fucking Publix lady, the CEO of Publix, started dumping money into it. It was pretty intense, that situation. So now, everybody in Florida was hanging their heads low and saying, like, fuck it, we're never going to legalize. What were we expecting? We're pill mills over here. And a savior comes from over the light, like fucking every other politician trying to use pot as a power play. A top Florida Republican filed a bill Monday that would legalize medical marijuana in the state, just months after a similar ballot measure received the majority of voter support, but fell just short of the percentage needed to pass. Florida Senator Jeff Brandeis, Republican, filed the Florida Medical Marijuana Act, a bill that would allow licensed Florida physicians to prescribe medical marijuana to qualified patients in what would be a far-reaching expansion from the more limited Charlotte's Web medical marijuana law that Governor Rick Scott signed last year. Yeah, Florida currently has a CBD law in place that, they fucking signed in and they were like, yeah, sure, whatever. Give the seizure children their medicine. And they didn't realize the implications of the law. And we're going to talk about that actually next, and the rat's nest that has incurred, and the king rat that they've created.
I don't even compare it to that.
The bill lists 9 specific diseases for which patients could qualify for prescribed medical marijuana, including cancer, HIV, AIDS, epilepsy, ALS disease, commonly referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease, multiple sclerosis, and any medical condition that causes chronic wasting syndrome, pain, or severe nausea. So this is very similar to the last bill that, the Amendment 2 that was petitioned for and gotten, put on the ballot. They had basically all the same conditions, and then the last condition on the last ballot was, and if the doctor deems your condition to be debilitating or not. And it left it kind of open with that language. And now this language is a very more specific, it specifies pain, chronic wasting syndrome, or nausea. Those are the terms for your condition. So it's kind of similar. I mean, before, if you wanted to walk into the doctor and tell him that something was ruining your life, I assume it had to do with pain or nausea. I don't know what else it could be.
Well,
depression.
Like trauma.
Yeah, I guess that is what it is, like mental stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like PTSD. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget people who need it for that.
Yep. So that is a huge market sector cut out now. Very good point.
Can't forget people with mental health.
Yeah. So hopefully this gets passed. We'll see. We're just seeing. It's fascinating to see support in the, the Senate, the Congress, all that. It just seemed like it was a very conservative state in Florida.
Those numbers were so tight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you realize the situation of Florida, like the capital is in Tallahassee, so it's basically closer to the Bible Belt, and they are more conservative up there. If the capital were down fucking south near the fucking tip of Key West or whatever,
or even just Miami, because Miami's synonymous with Florida. Mm-hmm. How many times do you think Florida? You think Tallahassee? No, you think Miami.
Either that or Orlando.
Or Orlando, you think Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And some people even think Orlando and Miami are within an hour of each other. It's crazy. Yeah. But it's a very divided state, and that's what, I don't want to say keeps the state in check, but it's this weird system where it's severely Republican and severely conservative in some areas, and then a lot of it's very liberal, very influenced by multicultural ethnic areas, and it's very different. It's really crazy. So what's happening in Florida now?
In Florida now, speaking of Tallahassee, Florida names its medical marijuana rulemakers. This comes to us via bizjournals.com. 5 nurseries will, before I get into this, basically Florida has passed a CBD law that allows for the production of plants, it's CBD-rich plants, to produce an oil for select children with epilepsy who join the program, right? So now they have to iron out the actual, rules of that. And they're trying to find who will grow this, what companies will be part of this, they're just trying to iron it all out. And there's a lot of controversy within the program right now because they went with the most logical way to pick people, lottery. And immediately people started contesting that, and they were like, how the fuck are you just going to pick people by random and say that is the most efficient way? You're just going to be, So
you're looking out for your patients, most certainly.
yeah,
By just
definitely.
picking a producer at random.
So now, 5 nurseries will be part of a 12-member panel announced Friday to hammer out rules on who can grow medical marijuana and how it will be distributed to patients. The rulemakers selected by the State Office of Compassionate Use will meet this Friday. Will meet the first week of February, in Tallahassee to set up the regulatory structure for the 5 nurseries eventually selected to grow, process, and dispense medical marijuana in Florida. Under a marijuana law passed last spring, nurseries that have been in business for at least 30 continuous years in Florida and cultivate at least 400,000 plants are eligible to be one of 5 vertically integrated entities that will grow, process, and distribute strains of cannabis that are low in euphoria-inducing tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, and high in cannabidiol, or CBD, for patients who suffer from severe spasms or cancer.
You know what that is, right?
What?
Like, what they're stating, like the idea that they have been in business for 30 continuous years, like, that's all the sugar plantations. That's all Central Florida. There's, like, nothing in South Florida that has been around for that long.
Well, Winter Garden, that's, like, right in Central Florida.
Oh, there we go.
Quincy. I don't know where Quincy is.
Quincy's in Central Florida as well. It's on the west side.
Lucha.
That's like Central South.
And it's funny because one Miami place. Yeah, but we'll get into that. Under the new law, doctors were supposed to begin ordering the substance for certain patients on January 1st, but after a legal challenge from a group of nurseries and other businesses, an administrative law judge in November struck down the health department's first proposal for a regulatory framework. That prompted the department to select the rarely used negotiated rulemaking process to craft a rule. Those tied to nurseries selected to be on the committee are George Hackney of Hackney Nursery Company in Quincy, Robert Wallace of Chestnut Hill Nursery and Orchids in Alachua, Bruce Knox of Knox Nurseries in Winter Garden, and John Tipton of Plants of Ruskin, and Pedro Freire of Miami-based Costa Farms, one of the nurseries that challenged the rule. Also on the committee are Jill Lemaroux, Can Labs Incorporated, botanist Darren Potter, attorney Donna Blanton, Office of Compassionate Use Director Patricia Nelson, horticulture expert Jeffrey Block, Joel Stanley, who with his brothers produces and distributes Charlotte's Web, a widely known low-THC cannabis strain in Colorado, and Holly Mosley, who pushed for the low-THC law on behalf of her daughter, Ray Ann, who suffers from a rare form of epilepsy. So I love the last part. It was like page 2, one paragraph, but that one paragraph is so telling with the list of names.
Oh, yeah.
So we talked about it, I think, a podcast ago, maybe 2 podcasts ago, how the Stanley brothers are really trying to monopolize on their cannabis, quote-unquote, strain, where they're taking and diluting this one particular genetic line of CBD-rich cannabis, and they're making it almost hemp-like in qualities in order to make it legal to produce in basically any state where hemp is legal for production. So things come in full fucking circle, man. Everybody, and the world is that small, after all.
Well, it's not that the world is so small, it's more like there's certain people that are just in so much fucking power.
I was going to say it's a world of laughter.
Oh.
In a world of... I don't actually know the lyrics. But moving back to Colorado, because we should all move to Colorado. From the Denver Post, additional Colorado pot taxes advance in the state Senate. A state Senate committee gave first approval for additional sales taxes on recreational marijuana that voters in Adams and Pueblo counties already have approved. The 3% Adams County voters approved last fall and the 3.5 Pueblo County voters approved in 2013 would be on the top of the special sales taxes on pot that their municipalities already have passed. The Colorado Municipal League and members of the North Glen City Council, which has a 2% special tax on pot, argued against it, calling it double taxation that would put the city's 5 dispensaries at a competitive disadvantage with shops elsewhere that don't have both taxes. The bill passed 5-2 and goes to the Senate Finance Committee.
This is just plain old bullying.
And we can see they have a wonderful graph here. You can see the total amount made through taxes, as well as recreational versus medical. So they've made $49 million in taxes with that 30+% tax rate, and then they've made $18 million with the medical taxes, because you got to tax medical, you know. Sick people can't just get their medicine for free. I don't know what kind of Russian world I'm living in, or Chinese, socialistic, or I guess Canadian. What am I like calling out those countries for? I needed to look closer to home. So via the HuffPost, I thought this was an interesting article.
AP, yeah.
Via the AP Wire, yeah. Gotta love the AP. By Kristen Wyatt. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I was like,
I don't really want to have enough.
And I was so confused why you're saying that. The Denver airport bans marijuana-inspired souvenirs. Tourists who fly to Colorado, home of legal pot, can forget about buying souvenir boxer shorts, socks, or sandals with a marijuana leaf on them when passing through the Denver airport. The airport has banned pot-themed souvenirs, fearing the kitsch would taint the state's image.
You know, because weed is such a negative thing.
Well, it's just calling weed kitsch. Like, you know, what are you saying to, like, the fucking, what is it called? The Las Vegas airport for having slot machines in the airport? Yeah. Kitsch, maybe? Marijuana possession and any pot-related advertisings were already forbidden. Airport executives extend the ban this month after a retailer sought a freestanding kiosk to sell boxer shorts and similar items that played off Colorado's place as the first state to allow recreational marijuana sales. Airport officials feared the souvenirs would send the wrong message.
We don't want marijuana to be the first thing our visitors experience when they arrive, airport spokesman Heath Montgomery said.
Because they're just going to fly in and see, like, all this dead grass around this, like, big white tent and be like, yeah, I'm totally going to go get weed here.
Why is everybody getting so riled up about the picture of a plant? Asked Ann Jordan, owner of Highly Legal Colorado, which makes shorts, socks, and pot flop sandals that are already sold in Denver area music stores.
So we're out of Colorado.
Moving along to more pressing news. We've been discussing San Diego, California for a couple of weeks now. They've had a lot of legislation going on trying to really sweep the streets of these medical marijuana dispensaries and get all of the illegal ones off of the market. I mean, we've had them like create a licensing system and then still have like hundreds of dispensaries not follow that rule, and then we have another crackdown, and all of a sudden the dispensaries, some of them still hang around, but most of them move to online or delivery service, and then boom, we have a ban on delivery services, and then they start popping up in apps fucking apps. Like, they're like, we're fine, we're gonna, like, make an app about it and somehow get it into the iTunes App Store, which is super fucking hard on pot, and people are still gonna use our services. And that shit got shut down by executive order via the fucking, like, state, senator dude, or mayor, whatever. You can read about that on the website, fucking hashtag San Diego, but it has been tumultuous, to say the least, in San Diego. So, to try to regulate the system a little more, here we have another bit of legislation passing via KPBS by City News Service. San Diego medical marijuana dispensaries to pay minimum fee of $1,100. The San Diego City Council voted 8-1 on Tuesday in favor of a package of amendments to medical marijuana regulations that, among other things, establishes a minimum fee of nearly $1,100 for annual operating permits.
At first I was like, oh, $1,000 for like a permit? Oh, no big deal. And then I was like, an annual permit.
Oh yeah, they're like, it's never a one-time fee. The amendments pertain to an ordinance that sets the terms under which dispensaries will conduct their business. The operating regulations differ from land use restrictions, which determine the allowable locations for pot shops. I anticipate there will be more discussion and more changes down the road as San Diego experiences these operations actually open legally, Councilwoman Marty Emerald said. Among other things, the City Council wants the annual permit fee to equal the cost of inspections and other expenses needed to regulate the dispensaries. The city projected costs include the use of police officers to make background checks, fire personnel, zoning investigators, planners, and city treasury employees. I'm not even going to get into it. Dan Normandin of the city's Development Services Department said the permit fee presented to the council was the smallest for a dispensary. Larger shops with more employees and greater floor space will face higher permit costs, he said.
Of course. That makes total sense.
Prospective owners of the medical marijuana facility are going through a costly and time-consuming process to acquire another type of permit, a conditional use permit, which will allow them to open. No legal dispensaries have opened within city limits. The application for the closest facility was submitted by a San Diego State University professor who wants to set up an establishment in Otay Mesa, near the Brownfield Airport. Approval of his permit has been appealed. The city's planning commission is scheduled to hold a hearing on the appeal January 29th. Yeah. So San Diego.
Because you can pay the zoning permit, you can pay the fire permit, you can pay, all the employees, you can pay all the cost of opening the shop, and you pay the operating fee. But if you don't pay that final fee to actually open the door, it's like, Jesus Christ.
No, one more fee.
Yeah.
We're not getting enough on the taxes.
Yeah.
So, some good news, man.
No, don't start with that.
Oh, yeah.
Not the start of the
Oh, yeah. Jaman. Via raw story. We've discussed, I think, in the last podcast, there were a number of countries now that were becoming lenient on their cannabis laws. Chile, particularly. Uruguay, famously. Canada, kinda, not really. And Jamaica. Jamaica is finally loosening its laws on cannabis. If you watched BC Bubbleman's channel, I think a month or two ago, he was actually at a conference in Jamaica where they brought together various businessmen from the cannabis industry in Colorado and other places to come in and educate the local people on just how much money essentially could be made off of cannabis if they were to monetize their land and export it. And there were people discussing how they could take cannabis that was unique to Jamaica, like lamb's bread, and isolate it into like a cologne or like a perfume. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, weed use, like drug use. You just take the terpenoids out, and you're like, hey man, this is the smell of Jamaica, and you bottle it and whatever. So it was a fascinating thing to see. Usually these conferences, people come together and they discuss the medical uses of it, and that in turn leads to more legalization. But this was a true, just talking about the money.
Like the industry of it.
Yeah. So this, I'm sure, led to this. Jamaica is about to decriminalize marijuana. The island nation most closely associated with marijuana in the popular mind is about to decriminalize it. The Jamaican cabinet Monday approved a bill that would do just that, as well as allow for the creation of medical marijuana and hemp industries. The bill, the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act of 2015, goes to the Senate tomorrow and will be debated there next Friday. It would decriminalize the possession of up to 2 ounces of ganja and allow its use for religious, medical, scientific, and therapeutic purposes, prohibit smoking it in public places, and provide for the granting of licenses for the development of a legal hemp and medical marijuana industry. While Jamaica is home to the Rastafarian religion, whose sacrament is marijuana, and has high usage rates, 9.8 of the adult population, ranking it 10th worldwide. That's hard to believe. I want some real statistics.
What do you mean?
I more than 10% smokes.
No, for religious sacrament purposes. Like, they're talking about the Rastafarian religion and the sacrament. That's what they're referring to. They're not talking about, like...
No, they're talking about rates of use among the people. 10 countries that smoke marijuana. So they're saying...
Are you sure that it's like...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And I call bullshit. That's why polls are bullshit. Like, I know clearly every country, there's more than like 20% of the population that smokes weed. Yeah, see? It's like the whole population. So, apparently, it has high usage rates. I mean, I would assume so already, but it's more than 9.8%. Let's not joke around here. It's been 14 years since a government-appointed National Commission on Ganja recommended decriminalization. At this time, Jamaican politicians were able to point to baleful threats coming from Washington as a reason not to move forward. But things have changed. The United States is no longer wielding international drug control treaties as clubs, with which to beat down reform efforts, and in fact is moving unevenly toward marijuana legalization itself. 4 states and the District of Columbia have already legalized it, and 14 more have decriminalized it. But, yeah. The groups such as the Ganja Law Reform Coalition, the Ganja Future Growers and Producers Association, and the Cannabis Commercial and Medicinal Research Task Force. I'm glad I'm seeing some medicinal reference in here. I mean, I see a lot of grower money, commercial money to be made stuff here, but I'm seeing groups that want to do some good stuff here. But Jamaica, finally, you would think, like, you would tell people that it's becoming decriminalized, not even legalized, for recreational use for everybody, not even, I guess to some extent it is medicinal, and it is religious, but, it's just now doing that. Like after Colorado, after all these big moves have been made in the U.S., you tell somebody anywhere that, and they would think that Jamaica had it legalized in 1970. Like with how popular it is, how associated it is with it, like how is it not legal there? It's similar to that Amsterdam situation where you're just like, how is it not legal there? You know, how is it that gray area? So our last article of discussion here, this is something that I was very envious of because this is something that I discuss all the time with my friends and family and associates and everybody. And I'm like, one day, man, one day this is going to happen. We're going to get together. We're going to open up our own vapor lounge. And people are just going to come, chill out on couches, play video games, maybe bring laptops, you know, play LAN parties, whatever. Like, we'll do DJing maybe some nights, do comedies some nights, do live podcasts some nights. Like, just make it like a meetup place club, like a hub for the WeedPornDaily community / local community / just cannabis community. And it's just something that I'd love to cultivate. I see it a lot with the Vapor Lounge in Vancouver and the one in Toronto, and just various vapor lounges, just anywhere where people could come together, congregate, and consume cannabis. It's just something magical happens there. And I'd love to create that opportunity for people. And then we always, you know, would love to also provide cannabis for people, you know, as an auxiliary element. And then also even provide the munchies for people, if possible, as another element. So, you know, that's always the dream. Just open up like a smoke / dispensary / eatery / land place / arcade
/ everything.
Everything.
We just want to be the Mecca.
We're gonna own like a little strip mall and just like break down all the walls, yeah, and just.
And it just becomes like one big location.
I basically want to make a mini Disney World for weed. It's gonna be intense.
Like weed theme rides.
Yeah.
Like we should do like some kind of like what is it called, like Navy Pier kind of thing, like in Chicago, is it? Like they have it. It's like. You walk in and there's like a whole amusement park inside, and then the whole exterior is all like shopping and stuff, and there's eateries, like everything, and it's really beautiful architecture.
I'm walking somebody through, yeah. I'm like, you know, here we can see, you know, the fat Illadelph coil, just chili busted out of the freezer. People hitting that. That's what's nice. Oh, we have a nice sublimator over here, you know, donated by Enrique. Hey, Enrico, what's up? Hey, man, what's going on? And then we keep walking, and then, oh, of course, the obligatory volcano in the corner. Nobody's using it. Whatever. We got better vaporizers in the house. We keep walking. You know, you open the door, and all of a sudden, like, you hear, like, really loud noise, and I'm like, that's the indoor roller coaster?
Oh.
We have really good soundproofing, so you could just chill in the lounge. But you come in here, bro, and it's just chaos. Yeah. It's just it's Europa in here, bro. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's this one crazy theme park we saw in Europe that it almost puts Disney to shame. Like
it honestly does.
Like all I need to put on is like techno music while I'm walking through and drop some acid and
Well, the thing is, we don't even know if they're already playing techno music through the park. What
am I saying? Yeah, what do I even need the headphones for? Yeah. But, you know, speaking of the dream, Rhode Island's first medical marijuana vapor lounge to open in Providence. By Patrick Anderson via the Providence Journal. And it's 21 degrees over there right now.
How sad.
Cuddle up. From Providence, Rhode Island, 2 Johnson & Wales University graduates are ready to open the state's first medical marijuana vapor lounge in downtown Providence Saturday. Named Elevated, the small storefront lounge on Peck Street does not intend to sell marijuana, but offer licensed medical marijuana patients a casual space to consume their medication in vapor form, said owner Kevin Cinturino Friday. Man, they need to fix those like sentence structures. Pipes and accessories for marijuana vaping will be available to rent. A lot of landlords don't let you use your medicine in your apartment, so people have to go to their friends' houses and other places that aren't convenient, said Cinturino, who is also a medical marijuana patient. Here they can relax and talk about what works best with other people who know about it. Unlike smoking the drug, vaping marijuana, like vaping tobacco, avoids Rhode Island's indoor smoking ban. In fact, Cintarino has found permitting and regulation of the vapor lounge relatively negligible, although that may be because it's so new to the state. So that's very sick.
That's super nice.
Very nice. Rhode Island, stepping it up on the East Coast.
Tiny ass little state. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's gonna come to that one vapor lounge.
It's gonna be like all like the RISD students, all going there.
True, very true. Gotta support the grads. So we're done with the news. Thank you guys for following along with that.
Now the fun begins.
Now the WeedPornDaily news begins. Now the better news.
Honestly, it's gonna be kind of sad in the beginning.
Sad news.
Sad blow.
So we got,
I mean, let's back it up like over a week now.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a delay in the podcast. It's currently, we're recording this on the 1st of February.
And we're gonna back
Stoner
it up.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're gonna back it up to like the 18th, 19th.
We're gonna back it up to the 20th.
To the 20th, basically. But like the 18th, 19th, everything was cool. Working on the website, and I finished some orders. I shipped them out. Everything was kosher. Life was great. Yeah, you got a new dress. What's up?
It was on sale for $20. Or what was it, $40? Yeah, it was $40. Awesome.
And
life was okay.
I went out for a skate, and I was doing some tricks in like a local lot that I usually do it in. Like everything was of normal. Like I do it every time. Same route, same everything. I started doing tricks in the lot, and then I pulled out, and I was gonna start like skating down this one like bike road thing that we have, and it's like basically kind of like a safe place for you to just like ride.
Like everybody like recreationally rides on this like one road.
Yeah.
It's like for people for rollerblading and running and walking and all those things. Yeah.
So I was crossing the street right out of the lot to head to start doing that, and as I crossed the street, like boom, I was hit by a car and flipped in the air, landed. I had to crawl into the side of the street because cars just kept fucking coming. That was fucking crazy. Like people just do not like care at all. It was pretty intense. I had like out of like all the cars that passed by 6 cars, one guy like had like stopped and asked me if I was okay. But I was like laid out in the median of the road and bleeding, and like my legs were like sore and numb, and I didn't want to move them. And luckily the guy stopped who hit me, came over. Gave me the typical fucking, hey man, what happened? I didn't even see, where did you come from? I didn't even see you. But luckily he called 911, the paramedics came, they took me to the hospital, and I was confirmed to be not have anything broken, not have a concussion. Luckily, I was able to stay conscious through the whole thing. It was pretty crazy.
So intense.
Pretty intense.
Honestly, it was one of the most frightening moments of my life.
It was just like I got hit, and the paramedics came. I sat down on like a nearby bench, and as they were running like a few checks on me, heart rate and looking for wounds and things like that, I just grabbed my phone and I called her really calmly, and gave her a rundown of what was happening, and then just like hung up and went right back to it.
It was so crazy because you never call me on the phone ever. We just text, and that's kind of it. And And, for you to call me out of the blue, like, we had been texting on and off occasionally. Like, you didn't even text me you were going skating. Like, I didn't even know about that. But I think we were just sending, like, a love you text or something, and it was just something, we weren't really talking that much that day. And, because I wasn't even planning on seeing you. We were going to spend the time off because I had classes until 10 p.m. that night. And, you called me, and I was like, something's really weird. Something's slipped off. And I was, like, preparing for, like, a debate that I had to do and stuff. And...
Yeah, you were in class.
I wasn't in class. It was before a class.
Yeah, between classes.
It was between, like, 2 classes I had, and I was meeting with some, bros, some homies, whatever. And, like, you called me, and you were just so fucking calm. And you were just like, hey, baby, I'm just letting you know that, I'm here with the paramedics, and... Oh, no, you said I had a bit of an accident, and I won't be able to, pick you up from class later. And the first thing I said was, like, in a car, you got... Because you had my car that day, and so I thought that you, like, got into an accident with my car, and you said I got hit by somebody. And I was just like, oh, the car's, like, broken. Like, this, like, it finally happened or something. And, I freaked out, and I was like, if he's calling me, everything must be kind of fine, and, like, maybe it's off the road. Like, I just thought, like, it was okay. Like, you made it sound like everything was fine. And I literally, when he hung up the phone, I thought to myself, he must be fine. I'm just going to go back to class. And I sat down for a minute, and I was like, just, like, everybody was talking, and, like, I was just becoming reintegrated into the conversation, and they're like, Rebecca, what's wrong? And I stopped, and, like, I said to them what I was thinking in my head, and when I said it out loud, I was like, oh my God, I didn't understand what he just told me, because you were so calm. Like, you had just, like, I got into a car accident, like, I myself, and I was like, oh my God, like, he got hit with the car, and I literally was like, he was skateboarding, he said skateboarding, and, like, it all, like, clicked into, like, place when I said it verbally, and, I just ran out of there, and it was crazy, because I had to run to the train station, which was, like, a 10-minute, like, right there, and then I had to take the train south, and then, I was gonna take the bus. I was going to take the bus to go see you in the hospital, because thankfully the hospital is on one of the bus routes that's, like, on the main arteries. And thankfully I was able to get a ride. I called somebody, and they were just able to drop everything they were doing and drive me, because I was a delirious mess. Like, I was, like, on the train, and I just, like, put on my sunglasses, and I was crying on the train. I was a mess, because I didn't understand what the extent of anything was, and I was overreacting. But it's just, like, I had no information, and I couldn't call you. I didn't know, would I be interrupting something? Like, would you even have your phone? Like, I didn't know any of those things.
I was strapped down. I couldn't,
You were strapped down. Your neck was, like, inside of, like, a plastic, literally, like, it's called a saddle, and they literally, like, hooking your neck into, like, a flat
brace,
panel, like, into a brace, like, all these things.
But yeah, it was super zen, but at the same time, my vision was, like, blurring, and I was getting tunnel vision and shit, and it was just really surreal, the experience. It was like something out of a movie, or yeah, it's very difficult to explain. But they strapped me down to the board, took me to the hospital. They found out that nothing was broken, CT scan, no concussion, and it took a while in the hospital. It was funny too, in the ambulance ride, they were asking me, which hospital do you want to go to? Do you want to go to this one or this one? And I was like, I don't know, whichever. And I said, like, the first one. And they were like, ooh, whoa, okay, the first one. And I was like, fuck, why did you even...
Give me the option here.
What the fuck? But, we quickly found out why. Or maybe, I don't know. I'm sure they both are slow like that. It's the hospital. I kept telling myself, like, as hurt as I was, there were people in there who were, like, inches away from death and, like, gashed open and, like, bullets in them and shit, and, like, people who clearly needed
You had,
more care.
like, a laceration in the back of your head that was, like, bleeding profusely. You bled on me.
It was pretty crazy, yeah. We have a picture of the bed.
Yeah, please.
That's, like, it was, like, all bloody from just literally that one head wound that they had to staple shut.
Like, don't let him convince you that, like, this was, like, a nothing accident. Like,
Yeah.
you got hurt.
No, I
And
really did.
You got really affected by it
I couldn't,
hormonally, and
I couldn't walk, afterwards. They stapled me shut, and then they basically sent me away. For my first staples, that was really fucking sick. That was literally, like, if you ever haven't gotten them, like, just imagine a stapler to your head. Like, that is exactly what it is.
oh no, like I would say, like, I would use an air compression gun, like an air.
Well, more of an industrial, like,
yeah.
stapler than like a cheap one.
Not like the ones that you like. You
They're a
click
little
it and,
thicker,
yeah.
but at the same time, it's that whatever sensation, just that the nails digging in and going under the skin, you feel it, bro. Like, they numb you, but you feel the whole experience. It's pretty intense. So I got 4 on the top of the head. Just had them recently removed. It's nice. Feeling like not as worried about it.
Not as conscious.
Yeah, like I kept feeling like I was gonna hit something and just like push the staples in further or something, like some crazy shit. But kind of walked out of there. I stumbled out of the bed and got put into a wheelchair, and then I got wheeled out of there. And I was on a wheelchair for a few days and just bed rest.
You were in a wheelchair for about 2 days, and then we switched you to crutches for about 3 days.
Yeah.
But you were so confident in walking that you were walking like the first night. And I know that you were in shock the first night. And that's why I was really happy, because it helped you normalize a little bit. Like, I was capable of getting you comfortably from the hospital to the house, and I was able to get you in like a snugly comfortable position that, like, once reality set in a little bit more, like, you would be in a zone where you felt safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, I was really thankful for that. But we got you McNuggets the first night.
Yeah, that was nice. Tore those shits up. Because I hadn't eaten before the accident.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I hadn't eaten all day either. Like, we had seen each other in the morning and ate breakfast together. And then once we separated from each other, like, with our days, like, I had eaten, like, one thing. I ate, like, a banana and a yogurt or something. And then you had eaten nothing as well all day. And we were both just done. We were so done. Yeah. I was, like, feeding you water through ice cubes and stuff in the hospital.
Yeah. That was pretty intense. The stretcher thing sucks in the hospital. It was there to obviously keep me in line, like my back.
We didn't know, like, if you
neck.
maybe broken like a disc or fractured like
Exactly.
an vertebrae or something.
Even though they fucking made me stand up and walk and shit after the accident, not directly strap me to the board, but hey, whatever. Fucking
That's
the
another
board
story.
in itself is really uncomfortable, man. The whole time, like, I was sitting there for maybe a couple hours, right?
You were there from 5:15 all the way until about 9. Yeah.
So that long strapped to the board, like maybe at the last hour unhooked. Like
No,
3
2 hours. The last 2 hours you were without the thing, yeah.
So a couple hours with it, man, and I was just like squirming in it to get out.
It was just like very hard because, you know, we both as individuals, we have like certain sores that we feel in our body every day, and we just know our bodies. Like, we try to be very conscious and aware of how our bodies feel.
Mm-hmm.
And what was happening was, you know, yes, you were in an accident, but we also didn't know, like, if the soreness and pains that you were feeling were because literally, and I fucking get it from putting on my shoes and my jeans being too tight around my sneakers. It's literally like you were just tight in the actual seat.
Mm-hmm.
Or the stretcher. And so you couldn't differentiate whether or not you were in pain from your accident or pain from they just put you in this really uncomfortable position.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sorry if I went off on a tangent.
Oh, the stretcher sucks.
Stretcher sucks.
Stretcher sucks, man.
Yeah.
But I was in bed rest for a few days. Did nothing. I told, I tweeted about it, Instagram, like Facebook, every part of the website, let you guys know, like, the website was shut down for like a week basically, while I just recuperated.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it was just those, like, it happened on Tuesday, and then once Sunday came around, I had a realization. I was like, oh man, like, it's Monday again coming up, and I thought to myself, it's felt like a month. since I've seen anybody. Because I had just stayed with you the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing wrong with it. I really enjoyed being able to be there for you and to be a partner and to be somebody supportive. But it was just, I had not seen the passing of time. Like, I had not seen anything different but the inside of the room. And I was just, like, shocked by it, I guess. And, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was so engrossed by it. It was crazy.
Well, now you know how I feel. Like, when you just don't, like, step outside for, like, more than 24 hours, or even just stepping outside for, like, a couple
4
minutes
hours.
every day and only, you just really lose track of time, lose track of the week, and that kind of reasoning goes away.
And it was just, like, I know that I'm not supposed to, like, I don't need to make excuses for myself or for you even, but it was just, somebody had made a message like, why has my package been mailed yet or anything? And it was just hard because it's like, those, like, 4 or 5 days were really difficult. Like,
Yeah, I think about it a lot. I'm like, if I wasn't, like, my age and how young I am and even how fit I am, I wouldn't have bounced back the way I did. And I wouldn't have taken as little damage as I did. Like, it's just because I didn't get scratched up and is hurt, like, visibly, like, it doesn't mean that, I didn't just get hit by a fucking car. Like, I am still recuperating, it's still hard. I can't run. Still, I can't go up a flight of stairs without, like, care and support. Like, there's a lot of limitations on life right now.
Well, it's like your head also got smacked around.
Yeah, like, I'm so scared of, like, hitting it again, or, like,
it was just like you were you couldn't lean forward often because you were like, it would make you dizzy, and there's a lot of, like, cranial pressure and things like that. And then you, like, bumped your head on a table when you leaned down and lifted your head up, and it was just, I was terrified because I'm like, did I just activate something? Did something just, like, happen where, like, it was preventable, and that was what I was so afraid about. And it was like to share it more with them with limited description would be, emotionally you needed a lot of support, and I needed a lot of support, and it was just like, it was time for us to be together and to work through it. And it was a really upsetting week. It was a really upsetting week.
But lots of hot cold flashes, lots of hormones, lots of pain.
Like, you couldn't eat the whole week. Like,
once the stress, or once the shock went away, the pain started setting in, and I got pain in my legs, pain in my hip, pain in my head. I got tension headaches nonstop.
And now you know
neck
how those
pain.
are.
Yeah, I got lower back pain. I got, like, tailbone pain. I got pain was the name of the game. And I couldn't eat because I was still so stressed. I was eating in very small portions, so I was really just...
You're eating like a bird.
Struggling. I was just trying to get anything I could in me as much as I could, and it was hard. But cannabis helped a lot, like, with the appetite.
With the appetite, and even then you didn't even smoke that much at all.
I couldn't. Yeah, it was hard for me. I was getting really high. It felt like I got detoxed or something during that period, or my body was more sensitive to the cannabinoids. Yeah, and I would get really high, and I would have to be careful with how high I got because it would get, like, paranoid high, and I would be like, oh man,
I feel in my bones.
Is this like a bad pain? Is this a concussion? Is this that? Like, oh man, and I had to calm down with that. So it was hard. But yeah, bed rest, a lot of days, crutches for support, and after, like, a week or two now, I'm walking without crutches, and...
Yeah, physical therapy.
It's hard, yeah, physical therapy now. I had some crazy chiropractor.
Yeah, which we're now not going to be going to because I don't know what the attorney was thinking, but...
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah. Alternative medicines. I am a fan of it, but not in that sense. Not in that sense, because this is something that is so serious that I'd rather be looking into modern medicine and...
Yeah. But I'm walking, but I still feel like, I can't move certain
You
ways.
can't lift Herculean
Yeah, like
weight.
in the mornings, I'm really stiff. Like, I literally feel the kind of stuff that old people talk about, where they're like, oh, it's so cold outside, my limbs they're getting stiff. Oof, my maligma. And I'm like, I wake up every morning like that, and I'm like, God damn it. So I'm struggling every day, but we keep going, we keep on keeping on. And I appreciate all the support that we got, because when I announced it on the website, I didn't know what kind of response I would get, and it was immediately like a giant flood of just support and love and positive vibes and people willing to just
be understanding.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Supportive, and it was honestly very great. It was awesome.
Yeah, there was like one message where I was like, bruh, like, why are you even talking about head shop delays? Like, you just got hit by a car. Like, take care of yourself. And I was like, that's like, you understand. Like, clearly. I appreciate it. I made sure to message everybody back and make sure they know that I appreciated it. And
I appreciated it as well, because I read all of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great to see that some people actually included me in their messages and stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah, people were very caring.
I love
Came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I was going to say stoner community came out for something.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Should come out for that Sarah Silverman print.
Yeah, what's up? Pay for these medical prints. Or
medical
bills.
bills. Yeah, I have some bills.
Yeah, that shit's serious. But, yeah, I'm recovering very slowly. Luckily, like, it's crazy how much the company halts. Like, this accident has changed my perspective on a lot of things in life. Like, primarily, it's changed, like, how short life is for me. I'm like, I can't work as much as I do for the rest of my life. Like, I love working, I really do, and I'm going to keep working for a long time and probably the rest of my life, but I don't enjoy my life as much as I probably do, or can, rather. Like, I used to. I used to play a lot of video games, I used to just go out, I used to, hang out with friends, and I used to just do things I would enjoy. Go watch movies, go do things like, and now everything is just like fuel for work. It's either I'm working or it's fueling me for work, or like
creating content for work.
Somehow, yes, work related. So I'm trying to get to a place where I can be monetarily stable and also just enjoy myself, because fucking this is my life, and I'm not like some slave to the system of whatever, like making money and all that.
Commerce,
like, I have like some expressions to make and some things to see, and I want to do it. So that, and I'm also, I need some help, obviously. I definitely, could easily see how, one person just can't live by himself in this world. You need, like, the support of other people to just subsist at all, and to be great. You need a lot more people. So I'm really going to start trying to expand the website and accept more help from third-party sources and get more people involved from the community. All those people that are reaching out, showing some love, hopefully they can also submit some articles. They're already submitting some awesome weed today for Stoner Sunday. I'm sure it won't be a far-off thing for them to do some reviews for some products or dispensaries or strains or anything like that. So I'm hoping to get people more engaged in the website with that, create like a little community with the forum. And philosophies changing with the car accident. Just getting life going. Like, I'm going to be making a lot of more different moves this year. A lot more bigger moves, a lot less fear in my life because I don't give a fuck anymore. I see how strong I am, or I see how fragile I am in some ways. So there are some big moves to make. But yeah, we got into a car accident, and now I'm slowly
getting back to work.
And I finished the Sarah Silverman vector, That was like my first thing I wanted to finish, and I wrapped that up. I had basically done like all the line work, and I just needed to color it, refine it a little bit, work on the background, and just do some like After Effect touches and things like that. That piece came out amazing. I wish I could just print it now that big so that I could convey just how nice it'll look, like how big, yeah, how, how much detail is encompassed in it, and just how just sick it looks, just psychedelic and vibrant, and the styling is just very like current. It's just, so we got lucky.
Oh, should we like?
I'm gonna acknowledge it. Yeah, this fucking number one reason why you guys should be donating for a new audio system for the podcast. The iPhone just restarted itself randomly during this recording, and luckily saved. I don't know how much of the podcast, but hopefully enough.
Yeah, like this is an iPod. It's not a new iPod. This is an iPod that was given to me, that was found in a drawer.
Yeah, second hand.
It was second hand from somebody who didn't like their iPhone, and it's not up to the newest iOS. It's not or operating system, whatever. And
it's just like, you're not supposed to be recording long ass podcasts on an iPhone. This is like, I'm using the voice memo app, like voice memo. Like, you're supposed to, Friday do this. Boop, boop. That's it, or like some
eggs,
thoughts.
dairy, and cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not for like 2-3 hour performances. So,
Sarah Silverman,
Vector done. That was the first thing that I wanted to really get done. And then I whipped out a 420 goodie box video for the January 2015 video.
All by yourself.
Yep, that was really hard. I did it. I set all the, equipment up, and I had like the white space set up and the box and the lighting and everything. And I did the shoot, and I started to take photography of the box and things like that. And I had to sit down. It was like too much for me. Like, I exerted myself like too much over that like 30-40 minute period.
And you did this like what? You did this like probably the Monday that I was gone?
Yeah.
So it was not even a week after your accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already recording a video. So that got edited up. I tried to do some special editing this time, so each product you can see the name clearly, as well as I do like a price add up, during the thing, and you can see the price escalate throughout the video. Trying to change up the editing a bit, making it a little more engaging, and yeah. So that got done. We have new products. I mentioned it earlier. We got the cyclones and the cookie dough papers. We're going to restock on organic hemp soon, as well as hopefully some other stuff. Maybe a new type of paper, maybe raw tray, maybe something. I don't know. We'll see. I want to try to diversify the head shop a little bit with this opportunity. What?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but my jaw's like hurting me a lot.
You want to hit? Yeah.
Sure.
You mind talking, or you want to? Does it hurt?
You can keep talking. Yeah.
So we got a wholesale order we did yesterday.
Oh, yesterday? So, yeah, we got a local head shop. We had given them a sample stock last time we had worked with them. And it was like we did 3 of every color, right?
Well, I dropped off a while ago like a box of just like gifts. I gave them socks, I gave them wick, I gave them like a little sample of like all of our products, slaps, to, give them a little taste. Get them hooked. And I got a call back, and he wanted some socks, and he told me like straight up like, hey, I would buy your wick, but if I bought it now, I wouldn't be able to sell out my raw wick and like my other brands. Yeah, like your prices are so good that these just won't sell. So I gotta get rid of these first. So he recently came back after ordering just the socks the first time, how you said 3 of each style. And he ordered 3 of each style again this time.
Which is nice, because it means that they all sold.
Exactly. And he ordered wicks this time as well. So that was our first wholesale order of wick done ever.
It was pretty intense, though.
It was so fucking intense.
I mean, in retrospect, it wasn't that horrible because, it could have been a lot worse.
And normally, under normal conditions, I could have done it a lot easier. But, after I'm still post-accident, man, my back was, shot. I was like, man.
I always try to keep it in perspective. We live pretty... I live by the month. But I know that you live very, very day to day, and, that's okay. Living that way, nothing wrong with that. But, I need you to also, keep in retrospect, it has been a lot of days since your accident. But it's only been 3 weeks. It's been less than a month since you got hit by a car. A big, huge chunk of metal, 1,000 pounds of metal or something, And, you just got to be realistic and be what is it it's always that stupid thing that's the human body takes 7 years for it to fully change every cell in your body or something like that. And it's if you think about it, it takes them 7 years for your body to fully regenerate itself essentially. And how long do you think it's going to take for your body to repair all the muscles? Now it has to kick it into overdrive. Now it has to fully repair itself as rapidly as it can, as effectively as it can. And, we have to, slow it down and be whoa, wait a minute. Don't try to repair yourself just yet. We got to repair it properly. We got to make sure that, your muscles don't get fucked up when they start to heal. We have to make sure that your head is okay. And, I'm also very scared of that. And, so you got to take your work slower. And, so I helped you with making all the wicks and stuff like that. And
we had to do 12 150 foots. Which is 12 times 3 50 foots, which is 36 50 foots. And then we had to do an additional 16 50 foots.
Yeah. It was pretty fucking intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did, don't worry. But it was pretty interesting because, we have to, unroll the huge spools that we have and then re-spool them. And, at that point, we had then decided that we were going to make a box for it, so we quickly made a box for it, and it was pretty okay. We got it, in terms of, we got on a roll, I guess is the way to say it. You would be unraveling, and I would be re-raveling or spooling, I guess.
That was nice, a little production line.
It was nice, it was good. Definitely, certain things, we're using gardening gloves and things like that to make it that it's hard physically because we just don't have the tools for it. We're a small shop.
Every time I do the process, I try to think of a manufacturing method that would replace me. I'm this time... it'll be a thing where I sit down and you kind of bicycle and it winds the thread through some gears and the gears do it and that. I always try to think of a system because I'm just ready to engineer something to fucking replace it for the process. It's so barbaric, but it gets the job done. And we had to do a lot of it took 4 to 5 hours. Yeah, it was pretty intense.
It was 5 hours by ourselves, just doing that and listening to podcasts and just doing
powering through it.
And even then, it's you couldn't really listen to the podcast because you were trying to stay focused on what, we don't want to cheat anybody a couple feet or something like that,
Yeah.
And so we got the wholesale order done. We still have to go and deliver the check, but we can do that later. But.
Well, now that I've got that wholesale order done, I've also now got to tackle a wholesale catalog, where I take all of our product line and actually put it into kind of a lookbook-esque, or just literally a product catalog, where you can go page by page and just see each individual product, each individual SKU, each individual price, and send that out to all the potential dispensaries, head shops, and all that want to possibly stock our line. We have one available now for hemp or weed socks only. But it's a one-page thing, and it's not... I want to make, a nice book. I want to make it graphical. I want to make it like I could almost print it, or I will print it probably, and it'll look like fucking like something that a professional company that put out, like fucking Lush, American Eagle, I don't know, fucking J. Crew or something. I don't even fucking know.
American Apparel.
Something like that.
Like a lookbook.
So expect that soon. You know, I'm going to be committing that to you guys, by teasing it on Instagram once I design it, develop it, all that jazz. I'll also be restructuring the website. I had like an epiphany recently after a bong rip. I was just sitting there. I took a bong rip, and I don't know if it was a weed, I don't know if it was the moment, but I was just struck with just like exactly what I needed to do for the structuring of the website. And I pulled up Evernote and just immediately like like whipped everything out. And now like I understand like what direction we're going in this year, and what, how the website's, going to be modeled. We're basically, we do news. We're going to have the news every day, and let me pull it up so I'm not completely off. We're going to be doing news like we do in the beginning. The latest cannabis like news, crime, legalization, activism, protests, initiatives, things like that, petitions. No, you're getting ahead of yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Come on now.
I'm sorry.
So the news comes in, play with the, Tumblr posts that we do all the time, the podcast, of course. But we're also going to be doing product reviews more so now, as well as unboxing of things. So that's kind of like new things, I guess. We do the 420 goodie box unboxings. We're going to do a new unboxing soon. I'm not going to say any names until we officially get it, but you guys will see a new unboxing video very soon, and a new giveaway. Should be very
exciting.
Cool. Very cool. But new products, new things like that coming along. I want to really diversify the type of fucking bongs that we're ripping, to say the least. And then we move on to Weeducation.
Sorry.
So what's going to happen is the pot primer, which I don't even know why I called it that in the first place. That was kind of a throwaway name. I didn't know what to call it. So the pot primer on the website is going to become just Weeducation. And that will be the sector of the website where just all the knowledge goes. That will be the place where you can find a state-by-state breakdown of each state, and what its laws are regarding cannabis, whether it's decriminalized, whether it is medicinal, what the medicinal regulations are, recreational regulations, all that, the list of dispensaries for each state, all that available in the Weeducation section. And we'll also have all the articles that we currently have, as well as new ones that we're going to be making, like the top stoner movies, the what is it?
Stoner music?
No, we don't have a stoner music one. We have references to cannabis regarding science and cancer, science and pregnancy, science and inflammation, like IBS and things like that. Just a lot of different science articles. We're going to be tapping into that. We'll be having a more sharing of links. We'll have the calendar, of course, as we announced before, with every single cannabis event that's coming up, glass show, all that jazz. So it's just, we're looking to create just a giant knowledge base of all the things cannabis going on right now, or that have happened, and just create like a place for you to learn, to Weeducate, per se. So that'll be that focus of that section of the website. And then, of course, we'll have the weed porn, where we post, all the same Tumblr queue, where we get submissions from you guys, or we get the best of the best from our Instagram feed, or just people we reblog on Tumblr, or things like that. Just the queue. Just great weed porn, and glass porn, and all that jazz. And of course, we're going to be doing our personal pot porn, really just trying to keep pumping that out. Just trying to stay focused about that. and WeedPornDaily TV, of course. We're going to be focusing more on pumping out bong rips, weed porn, our vlogs, updating the website, and things like that. Just fresh videos consistently pumped out to keep you entertained and just keep you fed with cannabis-based content, because it's kind of hard to find, like, quality cannabis content in the fourth dimension. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing head shopping, more glass tours. I'll be heading down to some local head shops as well as some not-so-local head shops if I can get, like, a car and shit and some gas. But we'll...
A car, some gas, car insurance, some health insurance.
So many, a list of things.
If life was simple.
If life was simple. But we're going to really try to branch out to get to other, places and record their glass and get that up on the website. Just record some stuff that I know will never get recorded unless I do it. It'll be nice to get some of that unique content. And the big announcement. We're going to be doing a magazine. It's going to be official. I'm like, it's something that I've wanted to do for the last couple years, and it's something that I don't know why I just haven't gone through with it. And it's something that it focuses the content and centralizes it and redistributes the content in a way. We're going to make a magazine. We're going to do it. We're going to have our own publication, WeedPornDaily.
Printed?
Not printed. It's going to be an electronic publication where you'll be able to download like an ebook, an EPUB file, and hopefully we'll be able to develop an application for you to view it on.
It'd be cool if we can get it on the news. What is it, the news?
The news?
The news rack? What is it?
Oh, like certain magazine apps. Maybe one day. But we'll definitely want our own app, because fuck other people and their apps. But magazine.
That's pretty cool.
Definitely.
I like a digital magazine. I can dig it for sure.
It's a way for me to engage other creators and people who want to submit content. It'll happen on a more professional level. You know, people will be able to submit these articles and have them cemented in these publications, and hopefully we'll be able to create. What I'm looking forward to creating is a platform for advertisers to come and have like another advertising space for the advertisers, as well as just like a fucking magazine. I want to print that shit. I want to be up there with Dope Magazine, Skunk Magazine, High Times. I want to be up there with Cannabis Now. Like, there's absolutely no reason that, you know, we're not printing our own shit, because I can guarantee you that I can create some more relevant and more engaging stuff on there.
I get scared because I hear about that. You showed me that guy. The guy who invested like $10,000 in it or something. He just dropped like a bunch of money.
Well, the Nugget Tree dude, let's be real here, he's not creative. We're talking about like a guy who like walks into a room of creative people and is blown away because he will never be there, because he is a businessman. And that's great, he's a businessman, but he is like not like creative at all. Like, I don't know, that was a creative endeavor, and that just went to show him that he should just not.
Like, that wasn't for him to do.
Yeah, not that avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, he just needs to keep opening up dispensaries, because that's what he's good at. But I am a good graphic designer. I literally have made books in the past. I've been an editor.
Books that have won competitions.
Award-winning, yeah. I'm like an editor and shit. So I got the experience behind my back. I know what looks good. I have a very good eye.
Like, your books have become model books for other publishers. Yeah, and actually me as well. I have also been an editor-in-chief, as well as a supervisor in quality control and photography, and my books have also won awards. And
editorial design, man.
Editorial design.
That's what's up
and
in design.
Fucking like graduate in design as well.
That's what's up, flex.
I've put in my hours. I get the right
Powerful.
to say it. Powerful hashtag. I didn't have any student debt. Yeah. Regardless, though, like, I think I could help you out, produce a couple subsections myself.
No big deal.
Can I do the calendar?
That is one of the sections of the magazine. I want, like, the calendar, then it'll incorporate the calendar from the website and bring it into the magazine, and a calendar of the current month and the upcoming events. And, we'll see. It'll be nice. I'm really looking forward to it. So magazine, the pot primer is becoming Weeducation, and that's about it, man. Lots of big changes coming to the website. I'm currently eBaying, like, all of my possessions.
And mine as well. DM me for GameCube,
Seriously.
SNESs, Game Boys.
Cut you a deal. But,
That's a game for like $5.
Currently eBaying my Xbox 360, the SNES, like old Game Boys, like any
Do we have 2 PS2s or
old
one?
console. We have one PS2.
We have mine. You don't have one?
Oh yeah, I guess we have 2. Yeah, you didn't get rid of yours yet. I thought you traded it off. Yeah, we have 2. But we're just trading off all the old consoles off to eBay and trying to turn a profit. I also have, like, an old camera lens. I have an old iPhone that's, like, malfunctioning. Anything that I can fucking turn for a profit right now. I'm trying to squeeze any money out of this situation that I can, because I need to move very soon, and it's gonna cost a lot of money, and it's gonna require a lot of upstart right now, and it's pretty intense. So I'm hoping I can, like, get, like, at least, like, 500 to 1,000 out of this, and have some money to just reinvest.
This was like selling the car.
Yeah, I have to possibly, like,
if you want a car.
sell my car currently, or repair it, and then try to sell it. Like, there's so many, like, things to think about right now. It's a pretty intense. Like, I come out of the car accident, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta think about moving now. It's a pretty radical shift. But yeah, you guys, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be alive. Can't say it enough. It's really a blessing to be able to walk, be able to talk, be able to see, be able to
beautiful
taste. Yeah, I'm still I can still model.
Yeah, like, all he has is a couple lines on his back, and, that's, like, almost, like, that'll almost go away with a tan.
But, yeah, I'm just really grateful for everything that I have, and grateful for all the support that you guys have given. People have been continually supporting us through the head shop, and continually coming back, and buying papers, and hemp wick, and socks, and buying socks for their friends, and buying socks for, their girlfriends, boyfriends, and
I love seeing that. It's so much fun.
It's so nice, and people locally supporting, and people even supporting internationally. It is insane.
We just shipped to Italy. That was so weird. I don't know why. It just was, like, cool.
Molto bene. So I support all that. I I don't support all that. I love all that support, rather. I really appreciate it. I don't know how to express it, truly. Like, I wish I could do more giveaways, like I had more money to ship out more giveaway products. I wish I had, just more, like, ways to just express it, like, share with you guys just how much, it means to me that I am able to just basically, create all of this content and create this experience for you guys, and that is enough for you to want to support it monetarily and say, like, here's this money for you to eat, and keep the website alive, and expand the website, and enrich your life, and here's some money to fucking keep you like alive right now, because right now you need like money for medical bills, you need money to recuperate. Like it's crazy. Like I was hit with the raw reality of like, man, like if I didn't have Mrs. WeedPornDaily, like I would be so fucked after this car accident. Like I would have been, in the hospital, and then I would have had to yell at a nurse to get me like the wheelchair, and then somehow wheel myself out, and hopefully have a ride that I can arrange with maybe family or friends, and then get home and somehow get inside of the house without a wheelchair, because the hospital doesn't give you a wheelchair. You have to buy one or rent one, and like getting into the house, like that's pretty intense. My house is not the most fucking
wheelchair accessible
place. No, not at all. And there's just the first couple days of just like laying in bed in agony of just like hot, cold flashes and pain, and not knowing what was going on, and having to wake up in the middle of the night for concussion checks and things like that. Like none of that would have been accomplished well. Like I don't know how I would have eaten. I didn't have the ability to make myself any food or go get food myself. Like I would have been completely like lost if I didn't have you. So I really appreciate your support. Definitely. That was like so amazing for me.
I would do it again every time.
No, I appreciate it. And it just put into perspective just how much how helpless people can become, and how much we really truly need to support each other. Things happen, and it's out of the compassion, out of the kindness of other people that we're able to subsist and survive these traumatic events and grow stronger. Without other people's support, we would just wither away. So if you ever see somebody limping, you ever have time, volunteer, you ever see a nigga on a bike and he's about to cross a crosswalk, just slow down and give him the right of way. I don't know, there's so many things to say, but truly, I hope you guys appreciate life. Hope you guys grasp whatever you love and pull it closer and live for it, like there's no reason that you shouldn't, like nothing should make you feel bad about doing what you love and doing anything that you can to support it and keep doing it, being a part of it, whatever it may be. And hope you guys medicate truly with cannabis. The more I use it, the more I see that it's an incredible drug. I was prescribed muscle relaxers, two muscle relaxers. Like the doctor, she asked me, do you want anything for pain? And I looked at her and I said, no, I don't do that kind of stuff.
And she looked at you and she was like,
yeah, she was like, well, yeah, you'll be calling me tomorrow. And she wrote me 2 relaxers, and I didn't use them. I refused to take any kind of muscle relaxer like that unless I'm in like some pain that I can't breathe or something. Like I will go through pain because I understand that that is just, I don't know. Like I prefer that kind of state than the state that you get like drugged out and like you lose sense of time, lose sense of your like self. Or like control.
They get into the hospital and they get prescribed a drug and they're like, yeah, I took it on Monday and I didn't wake up till Sunday next week.
Yeah.
Like the following week. I was like, what? You just like lost a week of time?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't need any of that. I don't need a drug that I take and then I have to wean myself off. Like, I'm just gonna take cannabis. How about that? It helps me with the pain. I can just dose myself anytime that, I get a particular headache. I mean, it didn't make the headache go away, but it made me focus on it less, and it numb the pain significantly, and in terms of inflammation, it helped relax my muscles, and it was just all around helping. With appetite, it was just an incredible supplement to have. So highly recommended. I don't know if you have a concussion. I don't know. Because you don't want to fall asleep. So you have to really be careful with what strain you use. But, I don't know. For after a car accident, man, you have some whiplash.
I'll be really honest, though. I think you need to have, like even with taking, like, heavy muscle relaxers, there's, like, a certain waiting period before you can take any of that stuff. Before you can start, like, drugging your body out.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because a concussion, it's kind of like a 48 to, like,
it's
a 3-day period kind of thing. So just wait a few days to toke up like crazy.
Yeah, it's just that you want to make sure that like if there's anything very significant that needs to be like you need to pay attention to, you need to feel it in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But cannabis, highly supported, man. Seriously, that shit. I don't know what I would do without it. It's not that it necessarily helps, dull the pain, helps you not care about the pain. It has this incredible property where you forget about the pain. Like if I do something and I get really hurt and I don't have cannabis either before, after, or during, it almost like scars me in a way where like that pain like never leaves me, instills like a fear in me. Like it's a very particular like property that it has. And then with cannabis, like, I can just not care, that it happened. Like, I understand that it happened, I can respect it, I can make changes, and, obviously not try to hurt myself again in that same way, but it's I can just let it go so much easier. And that is, like, a property that, it's one thing that I will always smoke cannabis. That's one thing that nothing else can do in life, except maybe, like, weeks of like getting over it with friends, or like a week or so of meditation. Like I don't know, like what cannabis does in like a couple puffs, like it takes so much more work in other avenues. But thank you guys all really for listening, for supporting, for reblogging, for liking, for buying some Sarah Silverman prints. WeedPornDaily.com/shop. Use the coupon code podcast. Save a little money. And thank you for heading over to 420radio.org and checking us out like once a week or something,
Thursday
twice a week,
something.
Thursday, Friday, something. Check it out, 420.org/schedule. And yeah, I appreciate you guys checking out the site, WeedPornDaily.com. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, all those things, YouTubes. We're on all that, Weed Porn Daily. The only thing that's different is Instagram. It's the real WPD. Appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate all the love. Just take a toke and close your eyes and really settle into that toke and embrace the spirit of Mary Jane and observe the constellation of cannabis that unravels in your closed eyes, and experience the hallucinogenic visuals that are created by the cannabinoid receptors inside of your brain, the same ones that release or interact with the endocannabinoids released when you go out for cardio. The same system somehow is stimulated by this peculiar psychedelic plant, and it instills this state of just transportation towards another reality, towards a more raw reality, towards a more conscious state of being. Embrace that and learn from it, love it, and stay regular super stoners.